Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and yesterday we had that delivered, and I just thought I would give you guys an update of some of the stuff that we're doing here this weekend. So welcome back to Modern Homestead, Alaska. Join us for another day in the life. Welcome to our vlog. We are the Milnes family. We started building a modern homestead outside of Wasilla, Alaska in the summer of 2021. That's my husband, Aaron. I am Jessica, a stay-at-home wife and mom. Our second son, Caleb, lives here with us, along with our daughter, Cody Ann, and the youngest of our family, Wyatt. We brought our two dogs, Tipper and Daisy, and got a new addition, the Alaska dog, Roberto. So what actually happened was it just rained so much, and today it's actually frosty and cold, but it had warmed up and we don't have any snow, and it's past the mid-October point, and we already had like standing snow at this point last year. So what Aaron is doing is he is trying to fix all of this area up around the house, because when it rains, snow, so on, it is like literally causing flooding right here in this area. So. Hey babe. What are you putting down? What?
Just putting down some road base so we can get some holes filled in for the winter, so we don't have big old ice ponds, and I'm trying to just get her leveled out.
How many tons did you get?
20.
20 tons.
Don't think it'll be enough.
It will not be enough. We already had 3 of these loads on just the driveway, and the driveway needs a couple of more, and then this is the area around the house, needs a couple more. And then eventually, so here's kind of a weird question. You see this silver part at the bottom of our house? The landscape should actually be built up that. Let me ask Aaron how far.
Now your mom.
I know, it's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna ask Aaron about it. What is this silver stuff called? What?
Flashing.
Flashing. And how far up it normally should the landscaping go?
You don't just want to be, I'm not a landscaper, but I'm going to get up there so I can cover up my foam that's down alongside the house right there. Keep water and hopefully get it to slope away from the house. That way when the water does come down, it runs away from the house instead of going down alongside the foundation.
So in areas like this, if water can get down next to our foundation, it freezes, expands. If it finds a crack in your concrete, it then expands and it starts to break and deteriorate the foundation walls of the house. So we don't want water running next to it. Now we have lots of things to protect it, such as the plastic. There is a coating on our concrete walls, our foundation walls, that hopefully prevents it, but concrete always eventually fails or gets cracks in it, and we don't want water and ice in the concrete. So let's see what Aaron gets done today.
Wyatt, you missed your spot. I gotta go do stuff. What? Go get the hunting stuff ready. We'll clean out the truck.
Alright, gotta go all the way up to the plastic, okay? Cover
Dad
the
wants to go
plastic.
hunting today.
We're gonna continue checking in on Aaron and the boys, but I am going to do just my morning routine, get beds made, those sort of things. I have kind of it looks messier than it is. It's mostly this morning's coffee and things like that, and then take you along for something that is going to be fun, or one of my favorite things to work on around here. So hang on just a minute. Let me get the bedroom done and the kitchen tidied and the house ready for the day, and then we'll move on with our day. All right, like I was talking about, I have to force myself a little bit to actually do these things every day, and my brain spins. I think of all the other things I would rather be doing. So I do have the washer and dryer are running in the closet. I need to get the other one going. And then if I'll just jump on the kitchen and the living, dining, like this space here, then I find that it relaxes me a little bit. I don't feel as amped up, like there's something that I have to be on top of. I have to be doing that. And that is kind of a little bit of encouragement today is, you know, if we just get a couple of things done, one little thing, and once you get that one little thing done or cleaned up or whatever, then if you just stay on top of that thing and then you add one thing in, that's kind of how I have learned over the years to stay on top of everything. But like I have the weirdest stuff in my house that happens. So they're getting ready to go hunting. All of this can't be left out in the boat. So Caleb drags all of it in, puts it on my entry table. So I have hunting stuff. I have weird stuff left out, dishes that are clean from last night, and then dishes from this morning, and so on. And everything is just, if I were to leave this all day, it spirals out of control. Then I get amped up. So now I'm rambling, but let's just tackle this area. It should not even take me 30 minutes. That is no lie. I should not even spend 30 minutes getting all of this area done. No sooner do I actually get the kitchen and everything tidied up and Aaron and the boys came in, Caleb is getting everything ready to go hunting, and Aaron decided he wanted to make dinner for everyone that was just going to cook low and slow on the wood stove all day long while they were out doing their thing. I have a big task ahead of me for the day, and so he is just being helpful. We, however, lost all of the sound to this video of him making dinner, so I'm just going to share with you what he made and how he made it. Aaron loves Meat Church, so this is Meat Church's Texas chili. He started by browning 2 pounds of ground beef, and we don't have crushed tomatoes, and so we are using 4 cans of diced tomatoes, and we're going to crush them ourselves. We just use the stick blender, but you could use a food processor or anything to crush it up. I preheated this enameled cast iron because Aaron is going to put it on the wood cook stove all day long, and it can withstand that. And then it called for 3 whole onions. So we diced and started to saute 3 whole onions. And then Aaron gave me a whole head of garlic that he wanted diced and added into the onions as well. While I did the onions and garlic, Aaron took an entire can of the green chilies, or chilies in adobo, which we call chipotles here, and he is just using the stick blender to crush those as well. He added the chilies, or the chipotles, into the onions and garlic, and we let them cook low and slow for about 15 to 20 minutes until they were translucent. You know, we like it spicy around here, so we took some liberty and added 2 diced jalapenos. You, of course, could leave these out, and I don't think the original recipe called for them, but that's in the description box. This is going to be a brisket chili. And so we took one of the packages of brisket that Aaron had smoked earlier and we had frozen. We got it out of the freezer, and then I'm going to dice this up and get it ready to go in the chili with the hamburger and everything else. About the time we got the rest of the prep work and everything done, Aaron was ready to move on and build it. He first added 1 can of Rotel. Again, this is some liberty with the recipe, but we wanted to scrape the fond or get all of the bits off of the bottom of the pan from the chipotles, the onion, and the garlic. Aaron then added in the 2 pounds of ground beef, ground chuck, ground brisket, whatever it is that you have. And then we had drained all of the fat and oil out of it. Ours was a little over 1 pound, but then he went in with the 1 pound of a brisket that we had smoked previously. He did 5 tablespoons of a Meat Church's Texas chili seasoning. You can find this on their website or at a local barbecue shop, which is where Aaron got his. Again, the links are in the description box. This is an equivalent of 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. You do not want to use tomato sauce in a recipe like this. It would be just way too thick by the end of the day. If you were just going to heat it up, you might split that between tomato sauce and crushed tomatoes. And because we have it on the wood stove all day, we do not want to over thicken this chili. And then Aaron added 2 cans of diced tomatoes. After getting the chili stirred together, Aaron heads over to the wood cook stove. He is going to stoke up this fire. We have a good bed of coals in it out already. And he is just going to get it going for a long, slow burn. We do not want to cook this chili on high at all. I do want to point out, when Aaron carries the chili over to put it onto the wood stove to cook, he strategically places it a little closer to the fire than where it's actually going to be most of the day. And I will show you throughout the day or a couple of times in this video what is happening with the chili on the wood cook stove. He does talk about Meat Church actually puts his in the smoker all day. We weren't sure how we would feel about it having that heavy of a smoke, so we went ahead and tried it this way to start out, but we are just heating up this chili and I will bring you back for more. Before walking away, Aaron's logs had caught a good fire, so he is going to close the door, cutting off some of the airflow and slightly adjust the damper. So, since I stole Aaron's show, I'm now back to, I have to do all of the dishes and clean up again.
We're going hunting.
Yeah, so what show did I really steal? The cleaning show? I stole Aaron's cleaning show. So I'm gonna get the kitchen cleaned up and then we'll move on with our day. All right, it's come up to temperature, and I know that because I was sitting over there and I could hear it boiling. So the stove right now is wide open and Aaron's got it really hot. And look, it's bubbling. So I'm going to give it a stir. I can't do that and hold the GoPro. And then the main thing I'm gonna do is turn the stove down. So just crank that down. The hotter you want the food, the further this direction, and the lower. So I'm actually gonna move it as well and rotate it because it's not evenly distributed heat on top of a wood cook stove. So I'm going to rotate the pan like that, and then I'm going to stir it and move it this direction, and it will just stay low and slow. I wanted to show you something strange, and I got a lot of questions about this in the summertime, and I kept trying to explain it, and the deeper into winter we get here, I want to show you what the sun does. So the sun circles us it doesn't go up and over like most people are used to seeing the sun. So I always explain, in the heart of winter, the sun bounces on top of those mountains right over there. Right now, it's still high. But when it gets really, really deep into winter, I get about 5 solid hours of this. It's just blasting through these double windows into the house. So look at how many shadows. So all the overhead lights are off, but you can hardly sit here. Like this is you can't, you're like just staring straight into the sun. So I did have so many questions about that. So I wanted to show you, like, it's perfect right now for you to understand the amount of sunlight I actually get on the shortest day of the year is just like this. So it totally lights up the house. It's so bright in here, and it helps with the mood when you are suffering a little from lack of sunshine. Now, I have the kitchen done. I've stirred Aaron's chili, and I have some plans. Cody has a friend. The two of them are in Anchorage today, but the friend is visiting from Arizona, and the girls are doing girl stuff. They did invite me. Aaron and the boys are out hunting, and so I am going to work on something, and I wanted to talk to you about it. So let me get over here out of the sun where I can see what I'm doing. All right, what I'm working on today, and I'm not going to show you all of it because in an upcoming video, we will just dial in on this, is I have a pad of paper and my tablet, and peace and quiet. There's no noise. No one is around me or in my business or bothering me. And what I'm actually gonna work on today is to map out every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with some desserts and what breads we're gonna make for the entire month of November. And then we're gonna go through and see, so if I want to order AZURE for in the month of October, I have to place my order tomorrow. So otherwise I'm not gonna get AZURE in October. So I need to see what I possibly could need from them. And then the other thing is we have to go through the basement pantry and this pantry up here today and map out like what stuff we didn't get enough canned, what cans do we need, and kind of work on that level of the pantry. And then I plan in the month of November, even though we're doing like the no spin, what I'm gonna show you is like, I have not truly gone grocery shopping since the last Costco haul, which was actually fairly short. I did, or fairly small. I had done like a price comparison. So we buy milk sometimes twice, but at least probably once a week. We don't have to buy eggs. I buy onions and things like that in bulk. And then Caleb was given a bunch of carrots and beets from someone's garden at work. So we have some vegetables in there, and then we buy jalapenos, celery, you know, some really basic things at the local grocery stores on a weekly basis. But because I buy everything else in bulk, our butter and so on is in the freezer, and then we just pull it out as we need it. We don't really grocery shop even once a week. So what I do is plan out that month of food and then get everything that we need. And then I have a weekly list of, I need a bag of carrots. I need some salad or some tomatoes or whatever those fresh items are to make the meals that week. So that is what I'm gonna work on. Just some quiet time. I'm gonna put on some music. We have the wood cook stove, so we have a nice warm fire. It's so cold today, and I say that because it's like a steep drop in temperature, which it's not the coldest it's gonna get, but when it drops like that, it does feel incredibly cold. And then I'm going to make the beans in the Instant Pot for the chili, make a pumpkin pie, and then I wanted to share with you a cookie bar recipe. But yeah, that's going to be our day. So keep tagging along. I'm gonna work on this. I'll be back in a few. So unless I plug in the other overhead light, but I wanted to just show you and remind you that what we do is these rolling can storage. And I just come through, like, I have some black beans up here, so I don't need any black beans. I have some corn, so I don't need corn. I can use 1 can of cannellini beans. Clean up mushroom. Quite a few cans of that. This is bean and bacon. We don't use very many canned soups, but we do end up going through just these kinds. The split pea, the chicken noodle, tomato, and the bean and bacon when someone's sick. We're fine on tomato. We're low on split pea and super low on bean and bacon. Yes, I can make my own beans from scratch, and I do try and do that. But if I'm sick or under the weather or gone or something like that, that is something Aaron and the kids do truly get into. The other things are, we're low on diced tomatoes, rotel, something here. This is pumpkin. We need some chicken broth, some beef broth, some evaporated milks, because I generally keep 2 rows. I do have some up there, so we'll go with that. I have some chicken broth down here, so we'll use that to fill in. And then I just look through the condiments. All right, because like I said earlier, Azure's due tomorrow, I'm going to go through here and see if there's anything that we're lacking. I do have this in a spreadsheet, but I do like to put my eyes on it before I place the order because it takes so long to get things like that. I know odd beans, this is almost empty. The pink beans and the AZURE, we have like maybe a pound of each of those left. Quinoa pasta's full. Lentils is good. Sorry, that was Aaron. They are on their way home, so I've got to go up and make the beans. So I'll just finish checking all of this. We filled in the rice. We know what we have, and we will make a very short Azure list this month. What I did for the beans, so I've washed and sorted and just scrubbed the beans. And what I have in here is a cup of the light red kidney beans, a cup of pinto beans, and 1 cup of black beans. And I'm just going to do 6 cups of water and nothing else, and put the lid on. And I'm just gonna let these go for about 30 minutes in the Instant Pot. You could use canned beans that you just drain, but I have so many dried beans, and I like to save the canned beans for an emergency, like mid-recipe. Oh, I should throw in some beans and don't have time to do it. So we're gonna just get this going, and I'll meet you back here. I found this cookie bar recipe a long time ago, and I pinned it in my Pinterest, and I never made it until recently. I ad-lib a little, and then of course I am going to double it for our family. But so I'm gonna do a 9x13, but I'll include the recipe in the description box. This is so simple and so delicious. The kids absolutely love these shortbread cookie bars. And the crazy part is they don't have eggs in them. So if you have someone that's allergic to eggs, which I know someone that is, you could make this for them, and it is amazing. So, because I'm doubling it, I'm gonna do 2 cups of unsalted room temperature butter. And then to that, I'm gonna do 1 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, because this is like a crumbly recipe, we don't have to go too far. So 4 cups of flour. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, so I need 1/2. there. And a couple of teaspoons of a good vanilla extract. Aaron and the boys got here, so it just started to come together and crumble, and so I'm gonna take a cup of it out and set that aside for the topping, and the rest of it I'm going to just press in this 13 by 9 pan. For the top of the cookie, we made this apricot jam together a little while ago. We're gonna use a jelly jar of it. And what I'm gonna do is dot it. And in between the apricot, I'm going to do raspberry. And so 3/4 of a cup of raspberry. I don't have any homemade, but that's okay.
Probably like 10 total.
Yeah?
Yeah.
One within shooting range.
And I totally did.
Oh my God.
You
Mom,
missed it?
so like I'm standing up and then Dad goes stand still because there's one coming at us. So I just stand there completely still instead of grabbing my gun because I had faith in Dad.
I didn't even try sneaking my gun. I'm sitting in the chair, my gun's right next to me, but Dad's already. I'm like,
he's just because he's just cruising, going super slow,
And I go like this.
coming right in.
I pull up and I'm like, oh, dead duck. And I just put too much lead on him and I just didn't even get a feather.
You didn't even get a feather?
No feathers.
Both shots.
I screwed
He
you.
was so close. I didn't even reach for my gun. I'm just watching this. I'm just ready for the bird to fall. So close, so slow.
Dad just overleads.
Just crumble that 1 cup of leftover cookie over the top of the jelly or the jam, whatever you had used. We're gonna put this in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes until it's light golden brown. We do not want to actually brown this because it is a shortbread cookie. So let me pop that in the oven. I'll get you back right here. We're ready to put together the chili and the family's gonna have dinner. I did the dishes really quick, but I hit the quick release on the beans and they are super hot, but you can squish them so they're done. I'm gonna drain these and give them to Aaron for his chili.
Good job, Reed. Back from hunting trip. We're gonna do a little check-in on the chili. Just got home, hunting, it's a little chilly outside, so this is gonna be absolutely, ooh, look at that. Looking good. So we've cooked it now for about 6 hours over here on the wood cook stove. And now we're gonna add a little bit of beans to it, but this is all just the meat and everything we put into it earlier. So we're gonna add a little bit of beans to it.
Probably more beans than we need, huh? Anything left over, I'll find some, put it in this week.
Let's see what we got.
For a taste test.
Give her a shout out, huh? Get a piece of this brisket in here. Get nice and hot. Nailed it. I think it's gonna be a really good chili. I think the family's gonna like it. It's gonna be great after a nice cool day. Obviously this big old pot made a lot of chili, so Jessica can freeze it, keep it for later. We can heat up a nice hot chili again later. Leftovers the second day after chili. Chili's usually, like they say, better the second day. So I'm good to take it to work too. That worked.
I know. The cookies are done, but I'm literally just sitting at the table. Aaron's standing right here. Why? Because Cody's still not home yet, and we really do wait for everyone for dinner, and we are starving. It's all on the table, and we're ready. All right, let me get the cookies out of the oven, and hopefully Cody will be here in a minute so we can eat. Oh well. We got a surprise. It's not just Cody and her friends. She brought even more friends. Come in, come in. Let us get 2 more plates. This is what happens around here. And Aaron's gonna show us how it's done. Let me grab a couple of plates. All right, Aaron's gonna show us how we serve it around here. All right, baby. Stop. That's more hot.
So I go with a little bit of Fritos in the bottom of my bowl and make Frito pie out of it.
Bird up, bird up.
There goes scoop. Now over here. Hey.
Right.
Always put a little cheese. A few more onions. I love onions. My wife doesn't like when I eat so many, but I put a little bit of sour cream.
He's rotten, just like Bella.
And that's the way we go.
Secret tattoos?
All right. How is it?
Looking
Gotta get a
good.
little Frito in there.
What about this one?
Little onion.
What is that one? Art.
All right.
Good chili.
Let's feed the family.
All right, let's do it.
All right, the cookie bars are gonna cool and then we'll slice them. Like I've said, we've made these a couple of times and they're super yummy. Yummy. We have continued chaos behind us, but I would not have it any other way than an absolutely full table, not an empty seat in the house tonight. So what a beautiful ending to a wonderful day. So thank you, those of you who have stuck around to the end. We greatly appreciate you being here. If you're new to our channel, if you hit the subscribe button, when you ring the bell, you get notifications. When you give thumbs up and leave comments, all those things help our channel to grow. I hope that you're blessed, you find someone to share a meal with this week, and that you are truly, truly thankful for something. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you in the next video.